in the press room too when we had our youth IJF, the youth track. We began by reflecting on the fact that technology is rapidly growing and changing our world. And as young people, we have the collective responsibility to shape its direction. Our discussions yesterday focused on how we can leverage emerging technologies to create a more inclusive society and how we can bridge the digital divide in the Gambia. We had two main panels. The first was Closing the Digital Divide, and during this panel, participants discussed the barriers to internet access, especially in rural areas, including the expensive cost of data, social media evolution, discrimination in the cyberspace, and lack of understanding of trending issues. The panelists also emphasized on the importance of creating awareness through advocacy and having conversations with young people in rural areas. It was also suggested that stakeholders work together to advocate for cheaper tariffs and improve internet connection in remote areas. In discussing the digital divide, our panelists Bintu Jete from Article 19, Lamin Kefate from the Gambia Federation of the Disabled, and Lamin Sane from the regional chairman from West Coast Region, they highlighted the challenges faced by persons with disabilities in accessing ICT, including the marginalization and affordability issues. It was also suggested that infrastructure and emerging technologies should be made inclusive and that the government should do more to empower people with disabilities. The use of progressive terms to address persons with disabilities was also emphasized, and overall, the panel emphasized the collective responsibility of stakeholders in bridging the digital divide and ensuring equal access to internet and digital technologies for everyone. Our second panel was called Youth-Led Innovation and Entrepreneurship in the Digital Era. And this panel had speakers who were very experienced in the field. We had Kumbale from Table Pay, sorry. I always mix up the name, but Table Pay. And we had Babu Njai as well from Outboost Media. And our last speaker was Omar Cham from the National Youth Parliament. This panel discussed various emerging technologies that young people are and should be involved in. The speakers emphasized the importance of using data ethically and avoiding breaking data laws. They also talked about the sensitive nature of fintech, which deals with people's finances, and highlighted the importance of inclusive policies and regulations that uphold data privacy laws. The panelists noted that women tend to be more active users of fintech products and services compared to men, and emphasized the need to ensure that policies being designed are inclusive and mindful of youth-led innovations. They also highlighted the importance of consulting with young entrepreneurs in order to develop internet-related policies, as technical personnel are often non-participants in the field of digital governance and policy formulations. The panelists further went ahead and discussed the need to support and encourage young people to create technological solutions to address socioeconomic challenges in the Gambia. This can be achieved, of course, through sharing ideas, investing in proper research, building good relationships with people, and putting the right policies and legal frameworks that enable young people to afford and execute ideas. Overall, the youth track, the youth session that we had at Press Room 2 yesterday, highlighted the need to foster dialogue and collaboration between young people, policymakers, and other relevant stakeholders on issues related to digital inclusion and digital future that reflects the needs and interests of all young Gambians. It highlighted the need to provide young people with the skills, network, knowledge that they need to become effective advocates for digital rights and internet freedom, and finally, support the development of innovative solutions and initiatives that address key challenges relating to emerging technologies in the Gambia. Thank you.
Okay. Good morning to you all. On the panel that was focused on the theme cybersecurity and trust, moderated by Amadou Eba, the president of GCSA, and panelists were as follows: Mamadou Aliou Diallo of Mogde, Malik Sala, GM SAT, Anna Annette Sambu, Shao Gambia, Nay Toure, Gambia Police Force. The panel was moderated by Amadou Eba, featured three experts related to cyber. Addressing this topic, Mr. Sala stated that GSAT, an institution established by PIRA and the Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy, MOCDE, sorry please. Okay. MOCDE, through recommendations given by ITU, is the focal point of contact in terms of incident response. But since its establishment, GMC-SAT has been faced with numerous issues relating to trust and proper awareness. Incidents where an alert concerning the cybersecurity of a company is received by GMC-SAT, advice given to the company will not be taken seriously due to the lack of policy and awareness of its institutions' existence and mandate. Furthermore, in questions of GMC-SAT's establishment and existence as an institution under government, Mr. Amadou Nyang, Director of ICT from the Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy, MOCDE, clarified that GMC-SAT was established through the right channels under PIRA, through the Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy, specifically because the ICT department under the ministry was not fully established, stating that awareness will soon be created. The role of police in cybersecurity. Ms. Toure, in response to her institution's role in cybersecurity, they plan to go digital. She also stated that, as a digital institution and professional, the Gambia Police Force follows a chain of custody to maintain integrity and make sure that digital information which serves as evidence in court of law is admissible. Due to security reasons, Ms. Toure decided not to give out examples of insights of her institution's operation, but also gave a key example in which the previous military coup in which the Gambia Police Force did their investigation, traced evidence through audio devices and submitted a report to the Office of the IGP and SIS, making sure that their operation was in line with the chain of custody. She also stated that when it comes to cybersecurity and digital investigation, the Gambia Police Force is fully ready and follow due process, but yet the issue is that at times law are not in place to prosecute those found wanting. She also highlighted that before the establishment of the cybercrime unit, it used to be a challenge, but since then, they have now managed to tackle some issues relating to cybercrime by going digital and establishing a safe and private software to make sure that people's data is well kept and protected. Stating that the cybercrime unit carry out their investigations and send reports to the prosecution's office, making sure that evidence is provided and justice served in court is the job of the prosecution. The issues of trust in cybersecurity at the public level. As an advocate addressing issues on online harassment, Ms. Anna Annette Sambu of Shao Gambia stated that one of the problems they have as a society is lack of awareness by individuals in their communities. As an organization trying to address issues on cyber harassment and bullying, Shao Gambia through its trainings conducted has realized that a lot of young ones, especially girls, are bullied online. Why? Because of the lack of awareness on what cyberbullying and harassment is all about. She also highlighted the need for more pressure to be placed on government, stating that protection starts with you, the individual. But the problem is, how much longer will they have to wait for the government and parliament to make sure that people are being held accountable for crimes against cyber? According to Ms. Sambu, case study reveals that 75% of girls are either victims or seen in the picture of of, of cyber attacks, but the lack of awareness makes it difficult for them to realize that the level of threat they are being faced with. So the solution is awareness. Neiture from the Gambia police force was also asked whether about the preparedness of the police force. In response to this, she said, the police is very much prepared when it comes to data security, and the Gambia police force takes cybersecurity very serious, and because of that, they plan to go digital. A series of questions and answers also followed from participants, in which one of them stated, can you give examples of evidences submitted in court digital if there's any? In which Mrs. Toure replied, for security reasons, they can't disclose evidence or give key examples. But one of them was the coup in which she stated in her report. Thank you all.
Okay, we'll now have coffee break for about 30 minutes. Then we'll come back to have the fourth session back in the hall. So please just step outside. You can get your coupons for the coffee break. Thank you.